Sometimes I think that people don't want other people to really heal. And you see this a lot on social media. Everything looks so fast and complicated, and they say it's simple, but you have to get X, Y, and Z in order to do it. And it takes so much time commitment. But I want to give you some very clear and maybe not quick fixes, but fixes that do work, simple fixes. Some are quick, some take some time, as healing isn't linear the way that social media and TikTok likes people to think that it is. But I want to give you some quick and long-term things that can help your gut, that can help your healing journey. In this video, you are going to have my gut healing protocol, how I got that protocol, and I'll show you exactly what I take for that protocol. This is what works for me. So I got some tea going, and we're gonna make some tea, and then we're just gonna go ahead and get right into it. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jess. I have dealt with chronic pain and illness for over 10 years, and I am, cross fingers, I feel like I have made such progress, like 1000%. I am 1000% better than where I was when this started back in 2012. I am 1000% better than I was when it decided to amp up in 2020. And that's when I really started to just dig my heels in and try to figure out how my body worked and try to figure out the system behind that. And that's how I am where I am today. 2012, I kind of started that journey, and listened to the wrong doctors, listened to way too many influencers that didn't know anything, was doing what I thought was the right things, but it wasn't. And my body showed me that in 2020, when I finally started to do the physiological research on how our bodies work, how it operates, how our cells renew, how what our organs need in order to thrive. And here I am today on my gut protocol journey, because healing is not linear. And though I was 1000% better, I had went to the doctor. I went to the doctor over something totally unrelated. I have to have endometriosis surgery in July, and I went to get my hormones checked by my functional doctor to make sure that everything was clear. And come to find out, I've always been anemic, but my ferritin was at 5. Because my ferritin had dropped so low and my iron dropped so low, it dropped my thyroid, so I have low thyroid. I had low iodine, I had low magnesium, I had low vitamin D. I was low on everything. She said that I was running off of sheer will and the Holy Spirit, and I don't disagree with that. And then I did all these panels, hair testing, heavy metal panel, my gut panel. My gut panel came back where my gut was highly inflamed, and it spiked a lot on gluten, which is a whole other video I will get into gluten with. But I do mill my own bread now, and I've cut out all gluten unless my bread is milled. Or I'll eat like coconuts or like almond bread, some type of, like if I'm doing baked goods. So I've started that. And this is just my healing journey. This is my experience. And I feel like I should open up with how this is not medical advice. But this is what I wanted to send out to maybe some women who are back where I started in 2012 or even 2020. And maybe I can just tell you what worked personally for me, what has not worked personally for me. Because I feel like sometimes we can normalize the way that these crappy ways we feel, the bloating and the joint pain, and we're like, some people normalize it with age, but I'm like, I'm only 39, you know? And that stuff's not normal. I was not absorbing any nutrients because of my bad gut health. Your gut has to be healthy in order for you to be able to absorb the nutrients, which is why I was low on everything, which is why I've been anemic for 20 years of my life. And I don't expect for everything to be fixed in a couple of days when this has been a compounding thing that's been happening for decades. And I don't think anyone should expect that. And I think that that's just something that I think is really important to mention in a world where everyone wants fast results. So I just want to go over the gentle routines that I have found that have helped me in my journey, and I think that might help you. Got Irish tea today. This will sometimes switch, just kind of depending. I do love coffee too. I have been dwindling down my coffee a little bit to like 2 cups a day. Mostly because I am trying to supplement my iron. So my ferritin's not at 5. And coffee, I don't know if you know this, but if not, I'm going to throw this out there. Coffee will inhibit the absorption of not just a little bit of iron, but all iron entirely. If you have coffee within an hour of taking your iron, before or after, it will inhibit the absorption of the iron. So don't do that. And black tea is the same way. I do have my Irish tea, but I took my iron like an hour and a half ago. So I'm going to drink this first, have a second breakfast, and then, which is kind of like my bigger one. My first one's just a snack in order for me to be able to take the iron. And yeah, and I'm going to have some coffee after I have breakfast. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about that really helped me, and this is what I implemented in 2020, where I really first started to see that shift. It's completely free, though it does take mental work, and that is slowing down. So in a world where hustle is glorified and where convenience is glorified, as it turns out, living a slower, more intentional life is what will reset your nervous system. It's what will help you breathe better. It is what will help your body heal the fastest. This worked with me when it came to my nervous system, my anxiety, my panic attacks. I used to be just a anxious ball of mess. God has really brought me through so much, and it is through him showing me and just leading me down this slower, more intentional pathway of living. And it doesn't mean that your life's perfect. It doesn't mean that every moment is just like walking through a field of wildflowers. And I think sometimes people misunderstand that, especially in the social media realm nowadays. But slow and intentional living is slowly and intentionally living through the chaos and the mess of life sometimes. And it's choosing to remain grounded and steady and firm and taking those deep breaths in the middle of it, and then coming back down and doing what it is that you need to do on your corner of the earth. That is slow and intentional living. It's getting your feet in the dirt every now and then. It's seeing some early morning sunlight before you go to work. I do work. I'm not somebody that is able to stay home all day at this point. I used to be, but not right now. And I used to be really mad about that because I was like, I worked so hard on living this peaceful, intentional life until I came to the realization that I can still have that. Working and not working is not a factor that plays into that. And I think that's very important for everyone to know. And then I want to say that the second thing that I did to help my gut and to really start healing was to really pick out the right foods. I have removed a lot of foods and I have added in all of the good foods that our body needs to thrive. One thing that I removed was anything processed. Recently, just in the past like 3 or 4 weeks, I removed all gluten. My doctor said to do low gluten. I don't have to do no gluten. I want to say I removed 99% of gluten. That's not counting my milled bread. She said I can keep eating my milled bread. So if you want to keep doing that, I would suggest investing in a mill. Right now, I just have the cheaper one that was like $200. I do want to get a better one in the future, hopefully this year, but if you know that mills can be a little bit expensive. Um, and then I took out all the seed oils. I won't freak out if I see something every now and then that I might eat that has a seed oil in it. I've kind of given myself some grace with that because it's in everything. But I want to say that probably, again, close to like 99% of everything has 0 seed oils. And if I notice it on the back and I'm not already like in the middle of eating it and I see that there's seed oils in it, I will often choose to pick a different snack. I cook with ghee, with butter, with olive oil, with tallow. Those are my methods of cooking. I do not use any canola oils, any vegetable oils, seed oils, but I did add in those fats. Another thing that's really important to realize is I didn't even realize, honestly, that there's a whole generation out there that still thinks that eating celery sticks is going to sustain you instead of destroying your metabolism, and that eating fat-free food is going to help you lose fat instead of gaining inflammation the way that it does. And that people who eat different fake sugar alternatives, I'm not going to name what those are. But if it is not real cane sugar, turbinado, honey, maple syrup, agave nectar, etc., it is fake sugar, and it causes such extreme inflammation in the gut, and it just breaks down the barriers. It actually will take and harm the natural gut bacteria, the good stuff, so badly. I'm trying to be careful about how I word this. That you can't ever heal from that. You can improve, but you can't fully heal your gut from that once it breaks that down because of how harsh those fake sugars are. And even though you may not see the effects now, even though you don't react maybe as drastically as I do, over time with ingesting it, you will start to see the effects of that. And I'm just gonna go ahead and leave that there. But I do also want to note that I'm not perfect. I do believe in balance. So when I say I don't do seed oils, I don't do gluten, if I'm going out and I'm like celebrating my son's graduation, like we just went and celebrated his graduation, I am not going to not go because I don't know if it's cooked with seed oil or they don't have gluten-free options. I'm going to go, I'm going to eat it, I'm going to pray, I'm going to trust God, and I'm going to know that that's not my typical diet. And I feel that the important thing is to know that if your entire life is based around taking care of your body and eating the proper things, then you can afford to be able to risk that every now and then to go celebrate a dinner or at a pitch-in party without having to be so strict, because who likes that person? Who likes that person? I will show you the supplements that I'm taking and then go ahead and talk about it, and then I'm going to actually just show you. Now, I should say that I am taking these supplements while being monitored by a doctor. These were given to me, the protocol was made up by my functional doctor. I don't know where to get all of these supplements. I think some of them can be found on Amazon. But what she does is she sends me a link that's specifically tied to her. And then I order through this link that I've never heard of, and they mail it to me. But a supplement being a supplement, sure you can find it. I'll also let you know my dosage, but again, this is not medical advice. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you what to say. I am sharing my experience about what works for me. I feel like it's very important for me to say that, you know what I mean? So I would encourage you to find a functional doctor to get a gut panel. It can be a bit pricey, but think about what new gadget TikTok tries to sell you every day, or how Starbucks adds up, or you going to eat out with some friends. Like, that stuff adds up, and that adds up to the amount that a gut panel would cost you. So again, choices that you have to make. But I found mine was completely worth it. What works for me may not work for everyone, and I want to point that out. I don't want to take too much time harping on that, but I feel like in social media times nowadays, people write like XYZ down and then be like, this is what I need to do, even though that plan belongs to someone else and their body is not that other person's body. Does that make sense? So the specific supplements that I'm using, and this isn't talking about like the ones that I'm using to raise my iodine or magnesium or my iron levels or anything like that. If you want that information, if you're anemic, if you have low iron and you want to find out what I'm doing to raise that and what foods and drinks I'm eating to raise that up, because that's a really big part as well, let me know. This is specifically about the gut protocol, so I'll probably just break this down into different videos, but this is the gut protocol that I'm on. That's solidly good. So I'll start with what I take in the morning. Well, I guess, because I take some of my morning stuff in the evening. I'll just start with the probiotic. And this is the probiotic that I take. It's called Metagenics. Right there. Ultraflora Triple Biotic. So what she gave this to me for was basically to just take and rebuild all of the good gut bacteria that is in my gut. So I take this, but I also eat my probiotics as well. So I eat sauerkraut. I try to do that once or twice a day, especially with egg. It's paired really well with egg. So anytime I have egg, I will eat sauerkraut. Kimchi is another one that's really good with egg. And I will also have pickled beets, anything pickled, honestly. Pickles, pickled onion, pickled beets. I will drink kefir. Yogurt's a good one. Anything that's fermented. Think fermentation. Kombucha, water kefir. And then these pills, they're easy to go down, but I have to take 6 a day. And it's really exhausting sometimes. But you know what? They're working, and it's what keeps me doing it. So, but be sure that you eat something with these. For the love of all that is good, be sure you eat something with these, solid, or you're not going to feel well, all right? This is basically a giant garlic pill, and it has oregano in it. I'm just going to say, you know, if you burp when you take these, after taking these, anytime during the day, if you burp, please go somewhere isolated. Don't ask me how I know this. Just go somewhere isolated. I'm trying to save you from embarrassment. And then there's golden seal root. I take 3 of these a day, and I need to word this the right way. It's supposed to help in reducing the bad bacteria in the gut. There we go. And then there's the Leaky Gut Revive. This is a powder, and it's got literally all the good stuff in it. It does have a licorice root, and I hate licorice, but you cannot taste. So like, If you hate licorice like I do, don't judge this because you can't taste it. If you put this in coconut water and orange juice, it adds this really nice like thickening texture to it, and it's actually pretty dang good. I'm not gonna lie. So I have a scoop of this a day, 6 a day. So I do 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, 2 in the evening. This is 3 a day. I just do these in the evening, and this is 1 a day, and that's it. That is the whole gut protocol. So that's what I'm saying, like it's more simple than what I think some people make gut protocols out to be. Like they give you this like, and you're like, what does that mean? I'm taking out all of the jargon, and that's what that is. And this was created by doctors, functional holistic doctors. I have to take this for 2 months. This is only for 1 month. This is for as long as I want. And this is for 3 months. I have noticed for me, you guys, that there has been a reduction in bloating. This isn't an everyday thing because, of course, healing's not linear, and other things factor in bloating. So PMS, hormones, like women's hormones just fluctuate every single day. It's never the same. But I have noticed a reduction in bloating. I have noticed better digestion. My skin. Okay, so like low iron, low iodine, low all of that apparently dries your skin out so bad. And I noticed like mine was like so horribly dry, but now I'm starting to get like this glow back, and I'm not gonna lie, I really like it. I really like that. I visibly see my skin rehydrating and getting a glow back. I don't know if that's from the gut protocol or if it's from the iron that I take or if it's like the whole of it. Again, I'm doing a few different things. This video is just specifically about the gut protocol. So there's that. I know, the moment you've been waiting for. The last thing I wanted to talk about is just making sure that you are doing grounding things, because you can have all the stuff, all right? But if your mind and your heart and your soul and your life is chaos, none of it's going to help you. You may as well take the money and flush it down the toilet, because none of it will help you. And I just want to let you know that right now. Some of the biggest things that have helped me, if you're looking for free things, get that morning sunlight, get your feet in the dirt, start to do something that they used to do way back then. I don't care what it is, like garden something. Even if you live in an apartment and you just have a balcony, fill that balcony with plants. Garden something, bake something. Really take a day. This is something that I love to do, actually. I did this yesterday and I thrived. Take a day and go around your house and really clean and make sure that you're stewarding all of the stuff that you have so well, making your home cozy, making it just like really pop and just feel good to be in. I loved doing that yesterday. I kind of reorganized the kitchen, and I was just thriving in that kitchen yesterday. That was like a whole other tangent. But I just wanted to let you know that if you guys are in a time of your life where you don't have the answers that you need, if you just need some encouragement because right now you feel like your health is tanked and you don't know how you're going to get through it, trust me, I have been there. It has been years. And I remember back in 2020 when it really just hit hard. I cried almost every day. Like, it was hard to even function. And so, like, I just want to let you know that things do get better. You have to advocate for your health. You have to make sure that you are not listening to all of these other voices. Just pray for guidance. Pray that the right person is sent to you. Pray that a good doctor is sent to you. That the information that you are given is good information. Pray for wisdom. Pray for wisdom. That's what I did. And God has just led me so far into this journey with my health, with giving me a good doctor, with really telling me what it is I need to take, what I need to eat, and helping me make these good decisions along the way. And so I just really want to help you out and encourage you that, this will pass. Um, and you will get to the other side of it if you just keep going, if you keep trying, if you keep learning, and if you keep seeking God's guidance. So that's it for today, you guys. I hope that this helped even just one person. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more like it, I would love if you would subscribe to this channel. And until then, I will see you on the next one.